Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams to all the devotees. Today we are on the fifth last day in the month of Kartik, the first day of Bhishma Panchaka Vrata, and the most auspicious month of Kartik, and also today is the most auspicious Tirobhav Tithi of Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. So very auspicious day. So we can take a sankalpa to do extra rounds of chanting on this auspicious day, so that we get the mercy of the Vaishnavas, mercy of all of these acharyas and from Guru Parampara, so that we can attain Krishna Prema. We can advance very fast in our devotional service. So we'll start with prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Taraliye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramanandamadhamam Shri Krishna Chaitanyam Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in. Let us quickly jump into our study of Srila Prabhupada's book, Raj Vidya, the King of Knowledge. Right? We were studying how Prabhupada starts this entire section by quoting Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verses 1 and 2. Right? Where Prabhupada is quoting Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam, Pratyakshaavagamamam Dharmyam, Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Right? So Raja Vidya, this is the king of all knowledge. Raja Guhyam is the secret of all secrets. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram, it is very pure. Pavitram Idam Uttamam, this is the most supreme knowledge. Pratyakshaavagamamam Dharmyam, Susukam Kartum Avyayam. It is understood by direct perception of the senses. Right? When we render some service to the Lord, automatically feel bliss in our hearts. Right? And Susukam Kartum Avyayam. As we perform such services for the Lord, it gives us bliss. It gives us happiness, right? Susukam Kartum Avyayam. And then Prabhupada goes on to talk about what are the various processes of bhakti, right? Or the Navavida Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Right? All of the processes of bhakti, that actually is given as a transcendental knowledge by Prahlad Maharaj from Srimad Bhagavatam. And then finally, yesterday, what we were reading, the last part of this chapter, the last couple of paragraphs, wherein we also read about Yajñatva Mokshase Shubhat. Right? So what does it mean? This process of or this Raja Vidya or this transcendental knowledge can lead us back home, back to Godhead, can lead us to moksha. And then we defined what is moksha. Moksha does not mean merging with the Lord, going to the same planet as the Lord, or having the same opulences of the Lord, or being near the Lord. Does not mean Sarupya Mukti Sarshti Mukti or Salokya Mukti or Samipya Mukti. It does not mean any of them. What does it actually mean? Mukti means Mukti Hitvanyata Rupam Swarupena Vyavastitihi. That means when we are situated in our constitutional position and we are serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is only actual Mukti. Right? And then finally, Prabhupada was talking about whether or not we know or not, right? If we commit a mistake, we have to undergo sinful reactions for it, right? We gave the example of how if we go to the United States, we know that the driving is on the right side, right? But if we think that, oh, I didn't know about it, right? And we get caught, then we have to pay the fine. We cannot say that, oh, I didn't know about it, right? We are supposed to know the laws of the land in which we are living in. Similarly, we go in on Indian roads, there is red signal, and then we just cross it. And then this policeman catches us, and then we tell them, oh, I didn't see, right? I was so busy, I didn't see the red light. And what will he say? Okay, you pay the fine, right? So ignorance of the law or not understanding or knowing the law is not an excuse. Similarly, we have this human body, right? Just because if a cow passes on the road, right, when there is a signal, then we cannot say that it is a green signal. The cow came in between, so I will go and dash the cow. The cow will not get penalized because the cow does not have that intelligence, right? Human beings have that intelligence that we should not cause harm to other people, right? We have to follow the rules and regulations like that. So, having got this human body, we should understand how we are supposed to live in this life, which is according to the basis of the scriptures, right? Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vedyo vedanta krid veda videva chaham. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the compiler of all the Vedas. And by understanding the Vedas, we should know who is the Lord, who am I, how am I supposed to live in a way that I can reawaken my love for Krishna, right? Otherwise, we will be penalized by the material nature, left, right, and center. And we cannot claim ignorance as an excuse that I didn't know that I'm supposed to live my life like this. That is why I did that, right? That is no excuse. We have to suffer for the sinful reactions. Right? That is why we don't want to do karma, we don't want to do vikarma. We don't want to do good things also, because if we perform pious activities, then again we have to come back to this earth. Right? Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Right? We may become so pious that we may be transported to the heavenly planets or Brahma Loka. But Krishna says that's not what an intelligent person will want to achieve, because even if you go to Brahma Loka, you have to come back to this material world after you exhaust the credits. Similarly, we don't want to perform vikarma. If we perform vikarma, we'll go down to the hellish planets and suffer there. And then again, once we suffer all of our sinful reactions, we have to again come back to the earthly planet. So we are now very nicely situated in the earth planet, in the human form of life, where there is proper dosage of happiness and distress, so that we always think, oh Krishna, take me out of this distress so that I can serve you nicely. Oh, and when happiness also comes, we know that this is also supposed to pass. That is why Dhiras Tatrana Muyati, Matras Prashastu Kaunteya, Shito Ushna Sukha Dukkada, Agama Paino Anitya Stam Stikshashva Bharata. That means a sober person will tolerate happiness and distress. Oh, why should I tolerate happiness? I will feel elated. I will be jumping up and down when I get happiness, right? But happiness also, we know, is a passing phase, right? When happiness comes, we know that suffering is just around the corner. When suffering comes, we know that happiness is around the corner. They come and go. So, a sober person or a devotee, what does he do? He does not get elated when happiness comes. He does not get extremely depressed when suffering comes, knowing well that just like summer and winter seasons come and go, happiness and distress will come and go. However, the intelligent person will not settle for being in this material world and suffering all the time. What will intelligent person think? Oh, how can I get released from the suffering in this material world? That is what Prabhupada is going to discuss in the next paragraph. Devotees who want to read may raise your hand, and then we will continue reading the last paragraph of the first chapter, and then we'll go on to the second paragraph. Anyone would like to read? Yes, Mataji. Leela Nandini Mataji, go ahead. This knowledge by which...
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
This knowledge by which we can gain release from suffering is possible in the human form of life, not in the animal form. What happened, Mataji? To give us knowledge, to give us proper direction, there are scriptures written in various languages in all parts of the world. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out that people are forgetful from time immemorial about their relationship with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Krishna has sent so many representatives to impart the scriptures to mankind. We should take advantage of this, especially of the Bhagavad Gita, which is a prime scripture for the modern world.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
here Prabhupada is pointing out how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us this finest scripture. Right? What is that? What is that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, or Prabhupada explains it like this, that Bhagavad Gita is the primary scripture. Right? It is like our primary section or our initial period of education, which is Bhagavad Gita. And then we graduate, we go to 11th, 12th standard secondary section. That is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the post-graduation, that is what is Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So we want to be well versed with the first book first, so that we progress in the proper way and understand higher tattvas. So here Prabhupada is saying we should take advantage especially of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the prime scripture, which is the first basic scripture for the modern world, or basically for the Kali Yuga. Right? Because in Bhagavad Gita, it gives us importance of gives us knowledge of the 5 subject matters: Kala, Karma, Bhagavan, Jiva, and Prakriti. Right? Bhagavan is the one who sanctions everything. As Jiva, we can only desire. Prakriti actually arranges everything, and everything is situated within the purview of Prakriti, Kala, and Karma. Right? Kala means everything. When we endeavor for something, it takes a necessary time for it to fructify, or we get the results. Right? That is determined by Kala. And Karma is our activities. Whatever activities we do, it is called Karma. So in this way, the first chapter ends, and then let's go on to the second chapter of this book, which is entitled Knowledge Beyond Samsara. Right? Every day morning we sing Samsara Davanalida Loka Pranaya Karunya Gana Ganatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. The samsara is the samsara chakra. What is the chakra? Birth, death, disease, and old age. Right? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam. Right? We are always entangled in this birth, death, disease, and old age. So this knowledge beyond samsara is going to tell us how do we become transcendental to 3 modes of material nature. How do we get transcendental to birth, death, disease, and old age. So let's read this. Knowledge beyond samsara. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah. Chapter 2, Knowledge Beyond Samsara. Krishna specifically states that this process of Krishna consciousness is sukham, very pleasant and easy to practice. Indeed, the devotional process is very pleasant. We melodiously sing with instruments, and someone will listen and also join Shravanam Kirtanam. Of course, the music should be in relationship with the Supreme Lord, in glorification of Him. Hearing the Bhagavad Gita is also part of devotional service, and in addition to hearing it, one should be eager to apply it in his life. Krishna consciousness is a science and should not be accepted blindly. There are 9 processes of devotional service recommended: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, praying, serving, engaging as a servitor of the Lord, establishing friendly relations with the Lord, and offering everything to the Lord. These all are easy to practice and should be joyfully performed. Of course, if one thinks that the Bhagavad Gita and the Hare Krishna mantra are part of the Hindu system and does not want to accept them because of this, he can nonetheless attend the Christian church and sing there. There is no difference between this process and that process. The point is, whatever process one follows, he must become God conscious. God is neither Muslim nor Hindu nor Christian. He is God. Nor are we to be considered Hindu, Muslim, or Christian. These are bodily designations. We are all pure spirit, part and parcel of the Supreme. God is Pavitram, pure, and we are also pure. Somehow or other, however, we have fallen into this material ocean, and as the waves toss, we suffer. Actually, we have nothing to do with the tossing waves of material mixeries. We must simply pray, Krishna, please pick me up. As soon as we forget Krishna, the ocean of illusion is there, and it at once captures us. The chanting of Hare Krishna is most important in order to escape from this ocean. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is a sound, that is Shabda, that is non-different from Krishna. The sound Krishna and the original Krishna are the same. When we chant Hare Krishna and dance, Krishna is also dancing with us. Of course, we may say, well, I do not see him. But why do we put such exclusive stress on seeing? A devotee does not wish to see Krishna, he is satisfied simply hearing of Krishna. Seeing may eventually be there, but hearing should not be considered any less important. There are things we hear but do not see. The wind may be whistling past our ears, and we can hear it, but there is no possibility of seeing the wind. Since hearing is no less valid or less important an experience than seeing, we can hear Krishna and realize his presence through sound. Sri Krishna himself says, I am not there in my abode or in the heart of the meditating yogi. I am where my pure devotees are singing my name. We can actually feel the presence of Krishna as we make progress.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol, Mataji.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Okay, so here Krishna is talking about, Srila Prabhupada is talking about several very, very important points. One is the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself are not different. Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto, Abhinnatva Nama Namino. That means there is no difference between the Lord himself and his holy names. Right? When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it means that time we are personally associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Today is Ekadashi. Right? On Ekadashi is when we chant extra rounds, when we chant 32 rounds, 64 rounds, 108 rounds, 120 rounds. The more amount of time we are chanting Hare Krishna, the more we are having association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. So it is in our hands. Right? We cannot say that, oh, I don't want to chant because I cannot see the Lord. Right? But here Prabhupada is saying that the hearing is no less important than seeing. Right? Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karaya Udaya. Right? When we hear about the glories of the Lord, when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and hear our own chanting, then what happens? The Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta, it makes our heart pure. Shuddha Chitta Karaya Udaya. What awakens in our heart is Krishna consciousness, is our remembrance of Krishna. Right? We awaken our dormant love for Lord Sri Krishna. And then Prabhupada is talking about how we have fallen into this ocean of material existence, right? What is that verse? Bhavam Budau, Kripaya Tava Pada Pankacha, Sita Duli Sadarsham Vichintaya. Right? What is it? Namnamakari Buddha, Nijasarva Shakti, Satrarpina Nimita Smarana Kalaha, Etadrishi Tavagripa Bhagavan Mapi, Durdevi Midrasim Hajan Anuraga, Trinada Pishuni Chena, Tarori Visheshan, Namani Namanadini Kirtanya Sadahari. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. Mama janmani janmani shure bhavatat bhaktir ahaitu kiri. This is a verse. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavambudu. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram. Patitam mam vishame. I am so fallen that I have fallen into the ocean of material existence. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam. Patitam means falling down. Where have I fallen down? Bhavambudau. Ambuda means ocean. And this materialistic ocean, I have fallen into this ocean of material existence. Kripaya tava pada pankaja. Oh Lord, please be merciful unto me. Kripaya tava pada pankaja. Stita dhuli sadarsham vichintya. Make me a dust at your lotus feet. This is the prayer by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? Why is he praying in such a way? Because our taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the best destination. Some or the other, we fall in the ocean of material existence. Even here, as we are struggling in this ocean of material existence, it is said that the human body is like a boat, and the spiritual master is like the expert captain who is going to take our boat beyond the three modes of material nature, take our boat to the transcendental world of Goloka Vrindavan Dham. What are we supposed to do? We are supposed to simply be in the boat. Right? Simply be in the boat, follow the instructions of the captain, who is a spiritual master. And there are the favorable winds. What are the favorable winds? The scriptures, the mercy of the Lord, they're all favorable winds. They're going to help us in actually making our boat reach the destination of Krishna Prema. So, and then Prabhupada also talks about one should not consider one's bodily designations. Right? I cannot say that I am a Hindu or I am a Christian or I am a Muslim, so I will not study Bhagavad Gita. I am not a Hindu. Right? Prabhupada mentions in one of the lectures, there is no word called Hindu in the scriptures. There is only talking about Sanatana Dharma. What is Sanatana Dharma? Sanatana Dharma means performing our duty, taking into account that there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right, whom I have to serve. as I perform my duty, there is somebody I need to please. It is not me, it is not my senses, it is not my husband, my wife, my daughter, my son. They are not the people I'm going to please. I'm going to please the Supreme Lord. Right? Sarvo upadi vinir muktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchate. So we cannot concoct, I'm going to please this person by doing this. When we want to please a person, what do? We go and ask that person, can I do this for you? Will you be pleased by it? If that person is pleased, then that person will tell us. Isn't it? Similarly, if we want to please Lord Sri Krishna, what are we supposed to do? One, we are supposed to understand what is given in the scriptures. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. What the words of the scriptures are, the words of God. When we follow the scriptures and live our life accordingly, we are already pleasing the Supreme Lord. Secondly, we don't understand the words of God. We approach a bona fide spiritual master who will decipher and tell us, this is what Lord Krishna is saying, and this is how you have to do in this circumstance. Right? So, in this way, by surrendering to a bona fide spiritual master, by having faith in our scriptures, what are we going to do? We are going to come out of the bodily designation of being a Hindu or a Muslim or a Sikh or a Christian or a woman or a man or a child or an old woman or an old man, etc. Sarva upadi vinir muktam, coming out of all the material designations. Tat paratvena nirmalam, right? Our senses will become pure. Right? Our hands will become pure when we engage our hands in the service of the Lord. By making nice garlands, by cooking for the Lord. Right? Our hands get purified. Our legs get purified when we walk to the temple, when we do parikrama of the deities in the temple, right? When we offer obeisances, right? All the angas of our body get purified. When we do panchang pranam, right? Our head is bowed down, our hands are down, our legs are down, our knees is touching the ground. So in this way, when we are offering obeisance to the Lord, when we are performing devotional service, what happens? Our senses get purified. Tat paratvena nirmalam. And rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchate. What is bhakti? Bhakti is not something exotic that you think, oh, I want to do this, I can please the Lord like this, right? Rishikena, as simple as what we can perceive with our senses. When we engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses. Rishikena means senses in the service of the master of the senses. Rishikesha. Rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchate. That is bhakti. Very simple. Right? Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness is very simple, but we have made our life so complicated that we cannot be simple in our dealings. We cannot be simple in our activities, and that's why we are struggling. Otherwise, Krishna consciousness is very, very simple. We have made our lives complicated. That is why we find Krishna consciousness also very complicated. So, and Prabhupada is also giving finally what should be our prayer, right? Kripaya tava pada pankaja sitaduli sadarsham vichintaya. Oh Krishna, please pick me up from this ocean of material existence and place me as a dust, as a small particle at your lotus feet. This should be our prayer. And Prabhupada is saying we can actually feel the presence of Krishna as we make progress. Right? Prabhupada tells in one lecture how a person who's hungry and who's having nice Krishna prasadam, will you need to ask anybody, am I satisfied? Is my stomach full? Have I got energy? Does he need to ask anybody? No. He experiences the energy. He experiences fullness in his stomach. He experiences the energy. He experiences satisfaction. Similarly, when we perform devotional service under the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we will experience that happiness. We will experience the bliss. We will want to hear more and more about Krishna. We want to engage in more and more devotional service. We want to hear more and more about Krishna. We want to engage our senses in the service of the Lord. In all this, when we want to do more and more of devotional service, then we understand, yes, I am progressing in devotional service. I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to ask my husband, am I progressing in devotional service? I only have to ask myself, am I interested more in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Am I looking forward to wonderful days like Ekadashi, where I can fast from all the other things, unnecessary things, and feast on chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra more and more? Am I interested to hear Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita? Am I interested to go to the temple whenever there is a festival? Am I interested to go and take the association of senior devotees and sadhus and sannyasis who are coming? Right? If I'm interested, I want to go, then I'm advancing in devotional service. Right? And His Grace Radhesham Prabhu was saying in one class that we should do this introspection every Ekadashi. So we are on Ekadashi today. And today is also Bhishma Panchaka Vrata first day. right? As we are observing these wonderful days, we should contemplate or we should introspect, right? Am I better than what I was yesterday? Am I better than what I was on last Ekadashi? Am I chanting extra rounds? Am I hearing more? Am I performing more devotional service? Have I become less selfish? Have I become more selfless? Am I performing devotional service with ahituki apratihata? Or have I become less self-centered? Right? All of this are ways of telling us, are we progressing in devotional service? Right? So these are some of the tests that we can give ourselves. We can ask ourselves these questions and we can understand, are we progressing in devotional service? We don't have to ask anybody outside. All right, let's progress our reading. Navkishori Mataji, go ahead. Sorry. Hare Krishna Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna. It is not that we should simply take things from and offering nothing. Everyone is taking something from God. So why not give something? We are taking from Krishna so much light, air, food, water, and so on. Unless these resources are supplied by Krishna, no one can live. Is it allowed to simply keep taking and taking and taking without ever offering anything in return? Love means taking and giving also. If we just take from someone and give him nothing in return, that is not love. It is explanation. It is not that we should just continue eating without ever offering anything to Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Hare Krishna.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahratam ashnami priyatatmanaha yad karoshi yad ashnasi yad juhosi tadasi yad tapashyasi kaunteya tad kurushva madarpanam.
If one offers, thank you, Mataji. If one offers with me with love and devotion, a leaf, flower, fruit, or water, I will accept it. Oh, son of God, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you perform, should be done as an offering unto me. Bhagavad Gita
Hare
9.20. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Hari bol. Thank you. So here Prabhupada is making very, very profound points, right? Rupa Goswami also says in Nectar of Instruction, right? Dadati pratigranati guhyam akyati prachati bhungte bonjete chaiva sadvidam priti lakshanam. So these are the 6 loving exchanges between devotees, right? More satisfaction is experienced when we give rather than when we receive, right? We can see that in when we go on a Sunday to the temple and we are part of the prasadam distribution team, right? When we see those blissful, satisfied faces after having the nice prasadam, then we are also feeling happy, right? Generally, when we do the seva, we don't feel like having prasadam at the end of it, right? Because we are already our heart is full by seeing all these satisfied faces. Our heart is already satisfied, so there is no need for us to actually have prasadam, right? So in this way, dadati pratigranati, right? When we give gifts and we also accept gifts. Guhyam akyati prachati. Guhyam means to reveal, to ask in confidence. Guhyam is to share in confidence, and akyati means to ask subject matters of spiritual knowledge in confidence. And then bhungte bonjete chaiva. That means offering prasadam and accepting prasadam. These are the living exchanges between devotees. So when we are doing this, see, Prabhupada, in his purport also, he talks about how by simply doing these 6 things, automatically we'll become selfless, right? Because when somebody is inviting, I remember when we went to Kuala Lumpur, in Jagannath Mandir, there was this Gaur Chandra Prabhu and Chandrika Mataji. They invited us to their place, right? We went for 1 week, they went for 2 weeks. Then, very wonderful prasadam. We are having nice kirtan, and then nice study of the Bhagavad Gita. And then what is the natural consequence? We want to invite them to our home. And then we started having programs in our home where we invite the devotees. So what happens? This is natural, right? Otherwise, when we keep receiving, it is nice in the first few years of our Krishna conscious life. But if we want to progress in Krishna consciousness, then we have to learn to give, because there is greater bliss in giving than in receiving. right? And also Krishna says, Yat karoshi, yat ashnashi, yat juhoshi dadashi, yat tapashyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva mad arpanam. Whatever you do, right? Prabhupada says, we don't have to give up anything. We just have to add Krishna to our activities, right? I was hearing His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj's class. He was saying, the devotees are like representatives of Vamanadev, right? Like how Vamanadev came and he just wanted 3 steps of land and he took off everything of Bali Maharaj. So he was saying that devotees come and say, you don't have to give up anything. You just have to add Krishna in your life, right? But he was mentioning that devotees add so much of Krishna in our life that we don't have time and space for anything else. And that is a happy space to be in, right? It was not that he was regretting it. He was feeling so joyful that somebody had brought Krishna into my life so much that I didn't have time or space for anything material. Right? So in this way, when we just follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada by understanding the words of the scriptures from our senior devotees, then we don't know when our life is getting transformed. We don't know that, slowly we become so selfless. We like to serve other devotees. We like to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We want to wake up in the morning and perform chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra within the association of devotees. We don't know when the transformation is automatically happening. So by simply being in the lift, like His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says, right? We don't have to perform so much of austerities, right? Even when you have to simply reduce weight, for example, in this material world, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to go to the gym, run in the treadmill, or climb up the stairs, do this, that, etc. But His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu is saying in Bhakti Yoga, this process of Krishna consciousness, we don't have to do hard labor at all. Because this process is, one is it's susukam kartumavyam, it's very joyfully performed. Secondly, it is like a lift, right? In the lift, the spiritual master is already there, right? And he is inviting all of us, okay, come into the lift. And what is the spiritual master doing? He is engaging in the service of the Lord. He is chanting. He is doing all of that. So what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to look at him and follow his instructions, simply chant and be in the lift. We don't even have to take the effort of climbing the stairs. We are simply in the lift, and if you are in the lift till the final floor is reached, then we automatically attain Krishna Prema. So in the association of devotees, right, there is a spiritual master, there is also the entire association of devotees that's compared to the Sadhu Sangha in the lift. What are we doing? We are chanting Hare Krishna, we are performing various angas of devotional service in this association, and that lift is compared to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This is a home that Srila Prabhupada has built for all of us to come together to practice devotional service and advance in our bhakti. So in the association of devotees, we have to engage in all these 6 things given by Rupa Goswami, and then our advancement in devotional service in Krishna consciousness becomes so natural that we don't even realize, oh, did I do all these things? Oh, so much hard work has to be done to advance in devotional service. No, very, very easy. Susukam kartumavyayam. Happily and joyfully. Like His Holiness Sridhar Swami Maharaj says, Kati pite hum log golok jayenge, right? So simply by singing and dancing and having nice Krishna prasadam in the association of devotees, we will sing and dance and go back home back to Godhead, like that. Okay, Priyanka Mataji, go ahead. You can read. In addition to giving and receiving.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
In addition to giving and receiving, in the execution of devotional service, one has to submit to Krishna whatever distress or confidential problem he has. He should say, Krishna, I'm suffering in this way. I have fallen into tossing ocean of material illusion. Kindly pick me up. I understand now that I am simply put here as if thrown into the Atlantic Ocean. I may not in any way identify with the Atlantic Ocean, but I am subject to the tossing of the ocean. Actually, I'm a spiritual spark, a fragmental part of you. To our misfortune, we try to identify with this ocean and stop its tossing. We must not try to stop the tossing. It is not possible. In any case, the tossing will go on, for that is the law of nature. Only the foolish try to adjust to this world. The real problem is how to get out of it. Those who do attempt to adjust and who never turn to Krishna are continually subject to transmigration in the ocean of birth and death.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we'll end here. So here Prabhupada is talking about how we, we set new normals for ourselves, right? So, for example, if you don't wake up for Mangalarti on a particular day, right? So tomorrow, if I forget to wake up for Mangalarti, and I feel so dejected, I regret. Oh my God, why could I not wake up for Mangalarti? What did I do yesterday? Did I not sleep on time? Did I eat very late, etc.? But then what happens? Next day also I miss. Next day also I miss. Next day also I miss. And then what I think, it's okay. It's okay. 2-3 days if I miss Mangalarti, it's still okay. We create new normals for ourselves, that it is still fine. So that is what we are going to do. That is what we have done in this material world, right? We've all regretted, right? When we've come to this material world, we've got separated from the Lord. But what is it that we're doing every day? Trying to enjoy this materialistic life, to see what is there and what is in it for me, for sense gratification in this world. What are we trying to do? We have become adjusted to doing punah charvita charvananam, right? Chewing the chewed, trying to derive some kind of pleasure from the material objects around us. In this way, we have lost taste to get connected back with Krishna. But it is only because of the association of devotees, because of Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija, right? We are all so much fortunate that we've got the association of our spiritual master who has given us the seed of bhakti. And what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to water the seed very nicely by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, by going to the temple, by associating with the devotees, by joining all these online sessions, right? With the click of a button, we have everything now, right? Especially after the COVID, everything has become online, right? With the click of a button, everything, association of devotees is there, hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita is there, right? And we get the association of very senior sannyasis also, where we can hear their lectures on the YouTube or on the Zoom platform like that, right? Ultimately, what are we supposed to understand, right? Jivera Swarupahe Krishnera Nityadas, right? We are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are supposed to enjoy eternal bliss and knowledge and complete bliss. We have to be completely blissful. Mameva Amshu Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Right? We are part and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but we are suffering. Why? Manashastan Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Right? We are struggling in this material world because we have identified ourselves with the temporary aspects of life, with the material things that don't exist forever. Right? When we identify with that which is eternal, which is the soul, right? Jivera Swarupahe Krishnera Nitya Das. When I identify that I am the eternal servant of the Lord, my duty is to serve the Lord. Then in service to the Lord, without expecting what I will get in return, I am going to experience divine transcendental bliss. That is the way to experience eternal transcendental bliss, and not to simply go from pillar to post in this material world, trying to seek some kind of happiness. Can I get some juice here? Right? Can I be happy here, there, everywhere? Instead of doing that, what we should do, we should understand and accept the what do they call that? See, these are all testified, right? Praman, or we should go by what is actually logically proved, and we can see in the life of those people who have transformed themselves into 100% bhakti, right? We can see their lives and we can see how blissful they are. And it is not a dream, right? We are seeing people around us, right? How much people are suffering. At the same time, we are seeing how in the same situation, in the same material world, with the same material problems, we are seeing how advanced devotees are taking every situation as an opportunity, how they can spread Krishna consciousness, how they can live and remember Krishna all the time. So this is how we also advance in Krishna consciousness, by associating or by surrounding ourselves with those people who have experienced the joy of practicing Krishna consciousness. We will also get that joy. Just like it say in Tamil, they say, பூவோட சேர்ந்த நாரும் மணக்கும். Like the string has no smell actually, but the string that is used to make a garland of say Malati flowers, right? That string also starts emanating the fragrance of the flower, right? So we need to associate with those devotees who motivate us, who inspire us in Krishna consciousness, and then the life in Krishna consciousness will be a smooth ride. And then we don't know when we've attained Krishna prema, right? So yeah, that is a process. Grantraj, all of Srila Prabhupada's books ki jai. Raja Vidya, the king of knowledge book ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Pitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Now we will go to our chapter 18 recitation. So we had not completed the recitation because I had the Chaitanya Charitamrita class to be given. So we will do that now. And then quickly we will move on to our Gopi Geetam recitation, and then to Damodarashtakam meditation. So we're going to meditate on the third verse of the Damodarashtakam verse. So we are on the last 5 days of the Kartik month. So we can utilize this opportunity to try to remember Krishna always and never forget Krishna. How do we do that? By singing bhajans of the Vaishnava Acharyas, by studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, by chanting more and more of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I was very surprised in our, I hope all of you are part of the Ekadashi Sankalpa group, wherein we have taken a Sankalpa to chant extra rounds on the auspicious occasion of Ekadashi, and also the Tirobhav Tidhi of Gaur Kishadas Babaji Maharaj today. So when we chant extra rounds, when we take a Sankalpa and when we complete our Sankalpa in chanting extra rounds, or sometimes we exceed our Sankalpa also, then Guru and Gauranga are very, very pleased with us. So these opportunities we should never miss. So after the session, we can continue with our chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. All right, so now let's quickly go on to our Bhagavad Gita recitation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chapter 18, the perfection of renunciation. Arjuna Vacha Sanyasasya Mahabaho Tattvam Ichchami Veditum Tyagasya cha Rishikesha Pratakkeshi Nishudhana. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sanyasam Kavayo Viduho Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Prahustyagam Vichakshanaha Tyajyam Doshavadityeke Karma Prahur Manishinaha Yajnadhana Tapaha Karma Natyajyam Iti Chapare Nischayam Shunu Me Tatra Tyage Bharata Sattama Tyago Hi Purusha Vyagra Trividaha Samparkirtitaha Yajnadhana Tapaha Karma Natyajyam Karyam Evatat Yajno Dhanam Tapaschaiva Pavanani Manishinam Etani Apitu Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Phalani Cha Kartavyani Me Partha Nischitam Matamuttamam Niyatasya tu Sanyasah Karmano Nopapadyate Mohatasya Parityaga Stamasaha Parikirtitaha Dukkam Iti Eva Yat Karma Kaya Klesha Bhayatyajet Sakritva Rajasam Tyagam Naivatyaga Phalam Labet Karyam Iti Eva Yat Karma Niyatam Kriyate Arjuna Sangam Tyaktva Phalam Chaiva Satyagaha Satviko Mataha Nadveshti Akushalam Karma Kushalena Anusajjate Tyagi Sattva Samavishto Medhavi Chinna Samshayaha Nahi Deha Brita Shakyam Tyaktum Karmani Sheshataha Yastu Karma Phalatyagi Satyagi Tyabhidiyate Anishtam Ishtamishram Cha Trividham Karmana Phalam Bhavati Atyaginam Pretya Natu Sanyasinam Kvachet Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanani Nibodhame Sankhe Kritante Proktani Siddhaye Sarva Karmanam Adhishthanam Tata Karta Karanam Cha Pratagvidam Vividhascha Pratak Cheshta Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam Sharira Vanmanobhirya Karma Prarabhate Naraha Nyayam Va Viparitam Va Panchaite Tasya Hetavaha Tatraivam Sati Kartaram Atmanam Kevalam Tuyaha Pashyati Akritta Buddhitva Nasa Pashyati Durmatihi Yasya Nahankrito Bhavo Buddhiryasya Nalipyate Hatva Pisa Ima Lokan Nahantina Nivadyate Jnanam Nyayam Parijnata Trivida Karma Chodhana Karanam Karma Karteti Trividha Karma Sangraha Jnanam Karma Cha Karta Cha Tridaiva Guna Vedataha Prochate Guna Sankyane Yatavachrunuthanyapi Sarva Bhuteshu Yenaikam Bhavam Avyam Ikshate Avibhaktam Vibhakteshu Tajnanam Vidhi Satvikam Prataktvena Tu Yajnanam Nana Bhavan Pratagvidan वेदी सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसं यत्तु कृत्स्नावत् एकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तम् अहैतुकम् अतत्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामसम् उदाहृतम् नियतं सङ्गरहितं मरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसम् उदाहृतम् अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनपेक्षा च पौरुषं मोहाद् आरभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते मुक्तसङ्गो नहं वादी धृत्युत्साह समन्वितः सिद्ध्यः सिद्ध्योर्निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते रागी कर्म फल प्रेप्सो लुब्धो हिंसात्मको शुचिः हर्ष शोकान्वितः कर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तितः अयुक्तः प्राकृतः स्तब्धः शतो नैष्कृतिकोलशः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामसोच्यते बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानम् अशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी यया धर्मम् अधर्मं च कार्यं च कार्यमेव च अयतावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतं च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी धृत्या यया धारयते मनःप्राणेन्द्रियक्रियाः योगेनाव्यभिचारिण्या धृतिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी यया तु धर्मकामार्थान् धृत्या धारयते अर्जुन प्रसंगेन फलाकांक्षी धृतिः सा पार्थ राजसी यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी सुखं विनादिनं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भरतर्षभ अभ्यासाद्रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति यत्तद् अग्रे विषम् इव परिणामे मृतो तत् सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धि प्रसादजम् विषयेन्द्रिय संयोगाद् यत्तद् अग्रे मृतोपमम् परिणामे विषम् इव तत् सुखं राजसंस्मृतम् यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनमात्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोतं तत्तामसम् उदाहृतम् तदत् अस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेवी स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय विषां शूद्राणां च परन्तप कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभाव प्रभवैर्गुणैः शमोदमस्तपः शौचं क्षान्तिरार्जवमेव च ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यं ब्रह्म कर्म स्वभावजं शौर्यं तेजोधृतिर्दाक्ष्यं युद्धे चाप्यपलायनं दानम् ईश्वरभावश्च क्षात्रं कर्म स्वभावजं कृषि गोरक्षवाणिज्यं वैश्य कर्म स्वभावजं परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजं स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्म निरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वम् इदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तम् अभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुस्थितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम् सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषम् अपि न त्यजेत् सर्व आरम्भ हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्नेरिवावृताः असक्त बुद्धि सर्वत्र जीतात्मा विगत स्पृहः नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमं सन्न्यासेनाधिगच्छति सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तो धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषोऽभ्युदस्य च विविक्त सेविलाग्वाशी यतवक्काय मानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शन्तो ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मभूता प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम् भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावन्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तत् अनन्तरं सर्वकर्माणि अपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्व्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादादवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम् चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तः सततं भव मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अत चेत्त्वम् अहङ्कारान् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृति स्वां नियोक्ष्यति स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यसि अवशोभितात् ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृदेशे अर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानां यन्त्ररूढानि मायया तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम् इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्याद्गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतत् अशेषेण यत्ता इच्छता इच्छसि तथा कुरु सर्वगुह्यातमं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः इस्तोऽसि मे धृतम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम् मन्मना भावमद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैशसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचाः इदं तेन तपस्काय न भक्ताय कदाचन न चाशुश्रूषवे वाच्यं न च मां योऽभ्यसूयति य इदं परमं गुह्यं मद्भक्तेषु विदास्यति भक्तिं मयि परां कृत्वा मामे वैष्यति संशयः न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः पविता न च मे तस्मादन्य प्रियतरो भुवि अध्येष्यते च य इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभालोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम् कच्चित् एतत् श्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चित् अज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहः स्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान् मया अच्युता चितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव सञ्जय उवाच इति अहं वासुदेवस्य पार्थस्य च महात्मनः संवादम् इमम् श्रौषम् अद्भुतं रोमहर्षणम् व्यासप्रसादात् श्रुतवान् एतद्गुह्यम् अहं परम् योगं योगेश्वरात् कृष्णात् साक्षात् कथयतः स्वयं राजन् संस्मृत्य संवादम् इमम् अद्भुतम् केशव अर्जुनायो पुण्यं हृष्यामि च मुहुर्मुहुः तच्च संस्मृत्य रूपम् अति अद्भुतं हरे विस्मयो मे महान् राजन् हृष्यामि च पुनः पुनः यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुव नीतिर्मतिर्मम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So now we will recite Gopi Geetam. This is from Canto 10, chapter number 31 of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's called Gopi's Songs in Separation from Lord Shri Krishna. Also called as Gopi Geetam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gopya Uchuhu Jayati Tedikam Janmana Vraja Shrayata Indira Krishna Shashwadatrahi Daita Drishatam Krishna Dikshutavakas Vaidrita Savas Krishna Tvam Vichinvate Sharadudashaye Krishna Sadhu Jatasat Sarasi Jodhara Krishna Shri Mushadvisha Suratanatate Krishna Shulkadasika Paradanignato Krishna Neha Kim Vada Vishajalapyayat Krishna Vyala Rakshasat Parshamarutat Krishna Vaidyutanalat Prishamayatmajat Krishna Vishwato Bhayat Rishabhate Vayam Krishna Rakshita Muhu Nakalu Gopika कृष्णानन्दनो भवान् अखिल देहिनां कृष्णा अन्तरात्मधृत् विकनसार्थितो कृष्णा विश्वगुप्तये सखौ देहिवन् कृष्णा सात्वतां कुले विरचिताभयं कृष्णा वृष्णिदूर्यते चरणमीयुषां कृष्णा संश्रुतेर्भयात् करसरोरुहं कृष्णा कान्तकामदं शिरसि देहिना कृष्णा श्रीकरागृहं व्रजजनार्तिहन् कृष्णा वीरयोषितां निजजनस्मया कृष्णा ध्वंसनस्मिता भज सखे भवात् कृष्णा किङ्करी स्मनो जलरुहाननं कृष्णा चारुदर्शया प्रणतदेहिनां कृष्णा पापकर्षणं तृणचरानुगं कृष्णा श्रीनिकेतनं फणिफणार्पितं कृष्णा ते पदाम्बुजं कृणुकुचेषु न कृष्णा कृन्दि हृच्चयं मधुरया गिरा कृष्णा वल्गुवाक्यया बुधमनोज्ञया कृष्णा पुष्करे क्षणा विधिकरीरिमा कृष्णा वीरमूयती अदरसीधुना कृष्णा प्याययस्वना तव कथामृतं कृष्णा तप्तजीवनं कविविरीदितं कृष्णा कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं कृष्णा श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये कृष्णा भूरिदा जना प्रहसितं प्रिया कृष्णा प्रेम वीक्षणं विहरणं च ते कृष्णा ध्यानमङ्गलम् रहसि संविदो कृष्णाया हृदि स्पृशाः कुहकनो मना कृष्णा क्षोभयन्ति चलसि यद्व्रजा कृष्णा चारयान् पशून् नलिनसुन्दरं कृष्णानाथ ते पदम् शूलतृणाङ्कुरैः कृष्णा सीदतीति न कलिलतां मनः कृष्णा कान्त गच्छति तेन परीक्षये कृष्णा नीलकुण्ठलये पनरुहाननं कृष्णा बिभ्रदावृतम् गणरजस्वलं कृष्णा दर्शयन्मुहुर् मनसि न स्मरं कृष्णा वीरयच्छसि प्रणतकामदं कृष्णा पद्मजार्चितं तरणिमण्डनं कृष्णा ध्येयमापदि चरणपङ्कजं कृष्णा शन्तमं च ते रमणनस्तनेश कृष्णा अर्पयादिहन् सुरतवर्धनं कृष्णा शोकनाशनं स्वरितवेणुना कृष्णा शुष्टुचुम्बितम् इतरराघवे स्मारणं नृणाम् पितरवीरनस्ते धरामृतम् अतति यद्भवान् कृष्णाहनिकाननम् श्रुतियुगायते कृष्णा त्वामपश्यताम् कुटिलकुण्ठलं कृष्णा श्रीमुखं च ते जड उदीक्षतां कृष्णा पक्ष्मकृदृशाम् अतिसुतान्वया कृष्णा भ्रातृबान्धवान् अतिविलङ्घ्यते कृष्णा अन्त्य अच्युतागताः कतिविधस्तवोद् गीतमोहिता कितभयोषिता कृष्णा कस्य जेनषि रहसि संविदं कृष्णा हृच्चयोदयम् प्रहसिताननं कृष्णा प्रेम वीक्षणम् बृहदुरश्रियो कृष्णा वीक्ष्य रामते मुहुरति स्पृहा कृष्णा मूयते मनाः व्रजवनौकसां कृष्णा व्यक्तिरङ्गते वृजिनहन्त्रिलं कृष्णा विश्वमङ्गलम् त्यजमनाक्षणा कृष्णा त्वत्स्पृहात्मनां स्वजनहृदृजां कृष्णा यन्निषूधनम् यत्ते सुजातचरणाम्बुरुहं स्तनेशो भीताक्षणै प्रियदधीमहि कर्कशेषो तेनातवीमतसि तद्यततेन किं स्वेत् पूर्वादिभिर्भ्रमतिर्भवदायुषां नः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So now we will quickly go into our Damodarashtakam meditations. So in the first verse we saw Namamishwaram Satchit Ananda Rupam, where Satyavrata Muni is actually praising the opulent form of the Lord, which is full of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. Right? Namamishwaram Satchit Ananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam. And then we spoke about why the Kundalam is so important, that it is mentioned here. Because the Kundalam gets the opportunity to kiss Krishna's cheeks. As Krishna is running away from Mother Yashoda, the Kundalam is fortunate to kiss Krishna's cheeks, and hence the Kundalam is specified here. Yashodha biyolu kaladhavamanam paramrishtam atyanta todrutya gopya. So you know the pastime how Krishna is because Mother Yashoda went to switch off the gas in order to protect the milk, which is going to make sweets for Krishna only. But Krishna gets angry. What does he do? He breaks the pot. He throws the butter here, there, everywhere. He pushes down the buttermilk, and then slowly he walks on that. In that the lotus imprints of the Lord is there on the floor, and in this way he runs to the courtyard. And Mother Yashoda, when she switches off the gas, she comes and sees these lotus imprints of Lord Sri Krishna on the floor. It's very clear because of the buttermilk, and on top of that, nice small footprints are there. So she follows that. She reaches the courtyard, and then Krishna is actually sitting on top of the motor and feeding butter to the monkeys. At that time, the monkeys all become aghast like this, and Mother Yashoda is coming from behind Krishna. So what does Krishna do? He jumps off the motor and starts running. And here it is mentioned that Yashoda ran with greater speed. Right? This is because Krishna himself allowed Yashoda Maya to catch him. Right? Nobody can catch Krishna by one's own endeavor. Right? By one's own speed or by one's own endeavor to perform devotional service, we cannot catch Krishna. But Krishna will allow us to catch him if we are sincere in our desire to capture Krishna in our heart. Then Krishna will allow himself to be captured. Captured in our hearts, like that. And then it is also said paramrishtam atyanta todrutya gopya. It is not mentioned that it's not mentioned the name of Yashoda, right? Whoever, whether it is Gopi, Gopa, or any other person, if one is interested to catch Krishna, to bind Lord Sri Krishna in our heart, and if we are sincere, we are determined, we are enthusiastic, and we also do with patience until we get the mercy of the Lord, then we can all catch Krishna. Then we can all bind Krishna in our hearts. And then second verse we also discussed, Rudantam Muhur Netra Yugmam Rujantam Karamboja Yugmena Satanka Netram. Right? His eyes, it is, tears are welling up in his eyes, but tears are not flowing down. So what is he doing? He's just rubbing his eyes so that the tears may fall out and Yashoda Maya may become merciful to him. Right? Yashoda Maya is running behind him with a stick. She's holding a stick, and Mother and our Krishna, whom the fear personified, also is scared of Krishna, right? Because Krishna is a super boss, right? So in this way, everybody is scared of Krishna, but Krishna is fearful of Mother Yashoda. Muhushwasa Kampa, because of this fear, he's running away, and his breathing has become very fast. He's also crying. And what happens? His conch shell shaped neck, right, which has also got these 3 lines. Like a conch shell, in which a pearl necklace was adorning. That pearl necklace is also shaking because Lord is crying. And Satyavrata Muni prays, Sthita Graivam Damodaram Bhakti Baddham. Right? How we can bind the Lord? We can bind the Lord not with ropes. None of the material ropes can bind Lord Sri Krishna. However, we can bind the Supreme Lord Krishna by our love and devotion. Just like Yashoda Maya bound Lord Sri Krishna. Krishna allowed himself to be bound with the ropes of Mother Yashoda's love. Similarly, Krishna will allow us to bind him, provided we are sincere. And our desire is only to serve Krishna, like that. So today, let's move on to the third verse. Iti drikshva leelabir ananda kunde. Right? By these wonderful leelas or pastimes, he is drowning the inhabitants of Vraja in Ananda Kunde, in pools of ecstasy. Swagosham nimajjantam akyapayantam tadishitagneshu bhakterjitatvam punah prematastam shata vritti vande. Right? So he is not conquered by devotees who worship him with awe and reverence. Right? Oh Lord, our Father in heaven, holy be thy name. Give us today our daily bread. Right? Krishna does not receive. Krishna will give bread. Krishna will give name, fame, glory. Krishna will give wealth. Krishna will give everything. But Krishna will not give Krishna prem, because he is willing to be conquered by those devotees to whom he gives Krishna prem. So he is very choosy. Only to sincere devotees, very enthusiastic in performing devotional service, who are selfless, who want to distribute the knowledge of Krishna everywhere. who want to speak about Krishna all the time. Such people, Krishna will give Krishna prem, and he allows himself to be conquered by the words of such devotees, and also be conquered by their love and devotion. Right? Tadiya means the paraphernalia of the Lord, the devotee of the Lord, the servants of the Lord. Only they can conquer Krishna because they are totally free from jnana, or the knowledge of Krishna being the supreme personality of God at his opulence, etc. Bhaktair jitatvam, they only know bhakti. And puna prematastam shatavritti mande. Satyavrata Muni is saying, I pay my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times to that Lord Damodara, who allows himself to be bound only by those prema bhaktas, who are completely devoid of opulence, who are devoid of awe and reverence, worship, like that. Okay, so that is the third verse. So now let's quickly sing the Damodara Ashtakam, and devotees can also offer Deepa to Yashoda Damodar, to Shri Radha Damodar. So let's quickly sing. Let me share my screen now, and then we can quickly sing this most beautiful song written by Satyavrata Muni for the pleasure of Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan, for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, for the pleasure of Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namamishwaram Shachitanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodhabhiyo Lokaladhavamanam Paramrishtamathyanta Todruta Gopya Rudanta Muhurnetra Yogmam Srijantam Karambuja Yugmena Satanka Netram Muhushvashakam Patri Rekhanka Kantha Sitagraivam Damodaram Bhakti Badham Iti Trikshvalila Virananda Kunde Swagusham Nimajjantam Akyapayantam Tadiyeshitagneshu Bhaktajitatvam Punha Prema Tattam Satavriti Vande Varam Deva Mokshamna Mokshavadim Va Nyam Vraneham Varishadapiha Idam Teva Purnata Gopala Balam Sadami Manasya Virashtam Kimanyai Idam Te Mukambojam Atyanta Nilaye Vritam Kunchalai Snegda Raktesha Gopya Moshumbitam Bimba Raktadaram Manasya Virashtam Malam Laksholabai Namo Deva Damodarananda Vishnu Satida Prabho Dukha Jala Vimagnam Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Dinam Batano Vihanesha Mamagyam Yedyakshi Drishya Kuberatmajau Badha Murteva Yadvad Vayamuchitau Bhakti Bhajakrutau Cha Tata Prema Bhaktim Swakame Prayacha Kamokshe Graho Me Sitamodareha Namaste Sudhamne Suradipidamne Padiyodharayata Vishwasadamne Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaye Namo Anandalilaya Devaya Dholyam Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaye Namo Anandalilaya Devaya Dholyam Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaye Namo Anandalilaya Devaya Dholyam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Shri Radha Jaya Yashoda Damodar Yashoda Damodar Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Damodarashtakam ki jai, Jagad Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. All glories assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in and staying till the end of the session. Today is the most auspicious occasion of Ekadashi, Bhishma Panchaka Vrata, Tirobhav Didi of Gauri Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, all occurring in the auspicious month of Kartik. So let us chant more Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Like it is said, Haridas Thakur used to chant 192 rounds, 64 rounds very loudly, 64 rounds in the mind, and 64 rounds like just softly like this. That's what he only can hear. So like that, as we're chanting extra rounds, if you feel tired, we can chant in the mind few rounds, we can chant softly few rounds, and then when we feel enthusiastic and energetic, we should loudly chant so that the neighbors also can hear. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Ananta Koti Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So anyone wants to share anything? Yeah, everyone can unmute themselves now. So yeah, Priyanka Mataji, yes. Please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I don't know about myself, like, how much Krishna loves me, but I know 100% Krishna loves you so much.
Oh, so nice of you, Mataji. That's the mood of the Vaishnavas. They always see that the other person is, much more advanced. But the person who feels like that person is more advanced.